if make sure that the speaker is green up at the top so that you can hear me. And if you have trouble connecting, or if you lose a connection, just email us at climatecampaign@globe.gov, and we'll be Travis will be on that as well, checking for any problems. So today we're going to talk about data visualization using the new Globe tools. We've been really excited to have this new feature on our website, and I'm excited to share some of the features that we have with this system. As students follow the scientific process, analysis of data may be difficult at first, or confusing, or intimidating, or uninteresting, but data exploration can be exciting, and it can be a little addicting, as I know as a scientist. Students may discover additional questions while looking through this data. It may also spark additional research. Data exploration activities can also fit into various parts of curriculum. It can be in science, since it is environmental data, mathematics, it's comprised mostly of numbers, social studies, the data has geographical locations attached to them, art, graphs and maps can take the form of shapes and colors, language arts, written and or oral reports on data can be generated by students, foreign or second language literacy, students communicate their findings to their peers around the world. So on the old website, the visualization tools were state-of-the-art when they were introduced in the mid to late 90s. However, they have been surpassed since then. It's for these reasons that we, the Globe program, in collaboration with NASA, NOAA, NSF, and Raytheon Web Services, have been developing these new visualization tools. So a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go through Globe data and just a refresher on the protocols and the importance of data. I will then go through the visualization tool, and then at the end I'll provide some important dates for the Student Climate Research Campaign. So just as a refresher, we've got hydrology data, soil, land cover, atmosphere, and phenology, and all of these protocols are very important to our system science. These data are collected using our established protocols and standardized equipment in these investigation areas, and then the students are able to observe changes over time, such as through tree growth, seasonal temperature variation, precipitation patterns, and the timing of bud burst. And so all of these all of these are investigations that students are able to look at just by getting outside and looking at this data, and that is the first step. So the second step is to enter this data into the Globe database. And my animation isn't working, but on the Globe website, when you go to your profile page, you'll see the data entry tab. And so it's kind of back here hidden. And when you pull up the data entry tab, you're going to see all of the procedures that you have established. So you'll see your site name, the procedure associated with that site, and the related protocols, such as for example, we have a couple of land cover sites here at the Globe Program Office where we look at the land cover. We participate in the Climate and Land Cover IOP, and also we have a phenology site that we established to look at green down. So this is where you're going to see all of this. When we get onto the website, I will show you how to get to the data entry, just as a quick refresher. And then once this data is entered, there are many different ways to visualize this data. And this is very important for students to understand how to find this data and then use it for research projects. So we have tabular or raw data. So this is going to be the data that's just in a table that you can download to an Excel spreadsheet or a different spreadsheet, and you can use that to perform statistics for maybe a math class or plot it in an arts class or something like that. We also have time series. We can plot them in graphs. For schools that have a long history, this is especially important to look at. It's really interesting to see how things have changed over time. And then we also have spatial maps. So if a student in a geography class wants to look at how temperature is changing in different locations, they can just pull up the map and take a look at it that way. So let's explore the website. Again, my animation isn't working here. So from the website, you just click on Explore Science, and then there's going to be a little drop-down menu that comes up, and it'll say Finding Globe Data. And then if you click on Visualize Globe Data, it'll take you to the visualization tool. So I'm going to stop sharing the presentation at this moment, and I'm going to go to the website. So, oh, it is not. showing here. I don't know why. Okay. Saying I'm incompatible. I'm sorry about that. Give me just a second. I'm really sorry about this. It was working earlier this morning when I tested it, and now it is not working. Okay, so I'm going to pull back up that PowerPoint while I get this up and running on my other screen. So again, it's a website. You're going to see here. I really am sorry about this. I'm unsure as to why it's not working. Okay. So let's try it here. All right. I'm sorry about that. Okay, here we go. All right, so back to this. As you come on, there will be a little welcome box. Feel free to take that off, and I'm going to add some data. So we do not have every single data point migrated over yet. We're working on that as we speak. There were many millions of data points that needed to be migrated over, so it's taking just a little bit of time. But we do have quite a few, and you can explore those through the little pull-down menu. So I clicked on Add Data Layers, and then your protocol drop-down menu will give you the options. So right now we have a lot of atmosphere protocols available, land cover photos, as well as some soil data. So for right now, let's just add some air temperature. It then gives you the options for solar noon, maximum daily, and minimum daily. So I'm going to go ahead and just click maximum daily temperature and add a layer. So right now this defaults to the current day. So you'll see the time range is December 4th of 2012. And these are the schools that have entered in data for the maximum daily temperature. So you have all these points. You can click and zoom in on the different schools if you'd like. One other thing to notice is that the color of the circle corresponds to a legend in the bottom of the screen. And these are, of course, in Celsius. So you can see that this school up here in Finland had a maximum temperature of minus 19.2 degrees Celsius. So it corresponds to the purple down here at the bottom of the screen. So you can add many layers to this. You could add contours if you would like to see contours. And so the system looks at the points surrounding it and contours in temperature. You can toggle this on or off by the little checkbox here in your layers. Say you want to also look at, how about cloud observations? So you can just look at cloud cover. You could look at contrails. You could look at cumulus. So I'm just going to add cloud observations. So here we have the schools that have entered in cloud observations. And so these also will correspond to a legend at the bottom. And so you can just look at these. And of course, this is defaulting to today. So if you don't want to have the little circles for temperature, you can take that off and you can just put in contours so you can see temperature contours underneath of the cloud observations. So it's a really handy tool for looking at the different data. You can then zoom in on the map by using a circle scroll, or if you just double click on the map, you can zoom in this way. So let's go over here into Europe where it is towards the end of the day, and I'm going to take these contours off for right now and put back on the little dots. So you can explore spatial data this way. You can zoom in and you can see how the temperatures are, look at the cloud cover, see where the schools are reporting from. It's a really fun thing to look at and nice to spend some time just browsing around with your students about the different protocols that may be interesting to you. So I mentioned before that there are many different types of ways you can visualize this data. You can look at it in a table, you can look at it in a time series, and on the map. So we're looking at it right now as a spatial plot. So say you want to look at just what the raw data looks like. So let's click on this school here. And this is in Liechtenstein. And you can obtain data in a table or a time series plot. And it also gives you what protocols that this school has been reporting. So we're going to leave it at air temperature. And right now I'm going to obtain the data in a table. So as you click on this, it's going to pull up all of the measurements that this school has ever taken. And so this has at air temperature. So you have the current temperature, maximum temperature, and minimum temperature. So you can scroll down all the way back to, they've been collecting data since 2004. So this school is a great school that you could do a lot of research projects with. You have the option to export right here at the bottom left-hand corner. And so if you click on this, it will pop up with a way to export the data. So you can export it to Notepad or just save the file, whichever you would like to do. I'm going to cancel that and keep that, leave that out. So I'll show you how to do it in a table. And then what if you want to look at a time series? So you go back here and you can pull the pull-down menu and time series plot. So you just click on this little box again. Oh, I forgot to select my temperature. The good thing is that if you forget to do something, it will let you know. And so let's just click maximum daily and then do a plot. Now, this is a warning telling me that I might time out because I've selected more than 5 years worth of data. So I'm going to just look at the last year, 3 years or so, and I'm going to plot it. So it's going to take a little bit. There's a lot of data. And as you see here, this is what the time series looks like for this particular school and their daily temperatures. So if you want to look at it this way, you can print that graph. It's a really interesting thing to do. And you can download this as well. If you have students, though, that are interested in this, it would probably be best for them to download the data and practice plotting the graph themselves, and then they can come back to the website and take a look and see if their graphs look the same as the website does. So those are two different ways to look at the plots. But say you want to look at the data counts. Say you don't want to necessarily see the measurements, but you want to know what schools are really putting out a lot of data. So there is an option at the top. It says map type. You have measurements and you have data counts. So first of all, say you're done looking at this and you just want to see data. You can delete these data layers. You can just hide them by unchecking the boxes that are here. But note that your legend is going to stay up. You can toggle that down if you need to by clicking the little legend tab. But if you want to just delete the layer, you just click on it and you can delete layer. And same for this. So I'm just going to do that. So now let's look at data. So again, we're going to need to add some data, and I'm going to look at soil temperature. And let's look at 10 centimeters daily maximum temperature. Okay, so the difference about the data counts is that you're going to notice that the legends change. It doesn't tell you the actual measurement, but it tells you how many measurements were taken. So we have a school here in Romania who has entered in 51 to 200 data points. So again, if you, oh, that does not look like, looks like their latitude and longitude points are off. So let's go up here to the Czech Republic. So again, if you click on here, it will take you to how to plot it. You can plot it in a time series or a table, and you can mess around with those different things. But if you're looking for schools that have the most data entered, you want to look for the really big dots. And so you can continue to add different types of protocols. So what about surface temperature? You can add another layer, and so it'll change the color for you. So those are just some brief things that you can do with the new visualization system. It's a really fun, cool thing to look at. It's a lot more user-friendly, and you can actually just see where the schools are reporting. And just by clicking on a dot, then you can access that data immediately. So now I'm going to go back to, well, does anyone have any questions while I'm on the visualization system before I move on to just look at the remaining dates of the SCRC and what's upcoming next? So let's go back to the presentation. Takes just a second to get these loaded up. Okay. All right. So we have upcoming dates. So the IOPs, as you all are aware, I'm sure that we have quite a few that have been continuing since the first phase of the Student Climate Research Campaign, and that's the Climate and Land Cover IOP and the Great Global Investigation of Climate. The month of December features the Great Global Investigation of Climate, and that focuses on temperature and precipitation and soil temperature data. So we encourage students to go out and collect this data during this month so that we can get a good idea of the seasonality with respect to winter in the Northern Hemisphere and summer with respect to the Southern Hemisphere. New for Phase 2 is the Phenology and Climate IOP. This started back in September, so that way we could watch weather green up or green down based on which hemisphere you're in. And so that is continuing through the remainder of the SCRC. Also for December, we're doing the surface temperature IOP. This is looking at how snow affects surface temperature. However, if you're in an area that doesn't get snow, it's still just as important to collect that information. So we encourage students to go out. All of this information is found on our website, and you can download the teacher participation guides that will walk you through how to get involved in those. So just for upcoming, we've got the Climate and Land Cover will repeat in January, and again, the Phenology and Climate will continue through the month of January. So also upcoming dates, we have some webinars. The first one is the one that we are doing right now. We also will have another webinar at 17 UTC, I believe, on the 8th of January, but be sure to check in on news briefs and our Facebook page, and we will make sure to put the correct time up there so that you can find that information. And all of this information is also available on our web with all of the remaining dates. Right now, we are at the American Geophysical Union annual meeting in San Francisco, California. We are working at the NASA booth in the exhibit hall, so if you are in the area, please be sure to stop by, or if you know anybody who is at this meeting, tell them to stop by and come and say hello. We will also be at the American Meteorological Society meeting in Austin, Texas, from January 6th through 10th. On the 6th, we will be at Weatherfest, which is a really fun, exciting opportunity for the community to come in and learn about the weather. And we will be there doing some hands-on activities. And then for the remainder of the week, we will also be at the NASA booth getting the word out about GLOBE. And then other SCRC activities. We have a Earth Day video competition that we're doing again. That's from the 1st of February through the 15th of March. We will be accepting submissions then. As soon as that finishes, we're going to take submissions for the Student Virtual Conference, and that will run through the 15th of April. On the 22nd of April, the Earth Day video winners will be announced, and we're really excited about that. We had a great turnout last year, and we're expecting it to be even better and more competitive this year, so start planning what you're going to do now. From the 6th through the 31st of May, we're going to have the Student Virtual Conference. All of that information will be on the website, and we're excited to have all of that going on. And then on the 10th of August, we will announce the virtual conference top entrants. So thank you for attending our webinar. Our next one will be on the 8th of January in 2013, and we'll look at how to overcome research problems. So I will take some questions now if anyone has any. We don't have the PowerPoint available on the web, but this the webinar will be archived on the website, and we'll be sure to have that information out. And we will get that up hopefully later this afternoon. But if you would like the PowerPoint itself, you can send us an email at science@globe.gov, and we can respond with that. So Dixon asked, how can students get access to the data that's not on the new system yet? Travis may be able to answer that question a little bit better, since he works both jointly with both the technology team and the science and education team, and he can do that. I mean, we're working very, very hard and very diligently to get the new data up on the system as soon as possible. So hopefully they can get that data very soon. Thanks for being patient as I encountered my problem. I'm not sure what was going on with the browser not wanting to share. So I really appreciate you sticking through that with me. Okay, so just so in case you don't see what Travis wrote, the data is not yet available for measurements after July 1st. Otherwise, you can access the data through the old visualization system at training.globe.gov, and so that's the way that the students can access it right now. Another question is, are there any scientists who can make some consultation supervising teachers from your country? Which country are you from? You're from Ukraine. We are currently recruiting scientists to our Globe International Scientist Network, and we don't have scientists in every single country. However, there are scientists around the world who may be interested in consulting with teachers. And so what you can do is on our website there, under community, there's the scientist network. There's also a map, and you can select scientists on that map, and you can contact scientists on there and ask if they would be willing to help. You can read a little bit about them on their profiles and see if they're interested in helping out. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at science@globe.gov, and we can help you out and try to put you in contact with someone. And I will type that email in the chat window so that you can write it down if you need to. And we will answer questions. There are quite a few of us on the team, and we love answering questions and getting back to you and trying to help you get through projects and make connections. Is there any follow-up after the SCRC ends? What do you mean follow-up? Are you talking about just continuing with this information? Oh, we are, okay, as far as any other topics for the campaign. We are still working on what's going to happen after the SCRC, so just stay tuned to the website and your emails, and we will be sure to let everyone know what will happen after the SCRC concludes. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming today, and please join us on the 8th of January for our next webinar. And I will stick around for a few to answer a few questions in the chat window if you have any additional ones. But I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you on January 8th. So I will, since I have two of you asking for a quick summary. So today I showed how to get to the visualization. So I'll just switch back for a few slides here and show you how to get to the visualization. So unfortunately my animations didn't work. However, if you're on the Globe webpage, which is in the back screen here, if you click on Explore Science, or if you hover over it, a little pull-down menu will show up, and in the upper right-hand corner of that pull-down menu, it's going to say Finding Globe Data. And so when you click on that, it'll take you to this screen that you see here, and then there's a link that says Visualize Globe Data. And so that will take you to this screen, and then from here you can add data, the different layers you can add, as many layers as you want to see, and a little legend will pop up. You can look for data counts. So I just kind of walked through where to find some of the information, some of the basics, and of course if you have any questions about how to find things, please send us an email at science@globe.gov and we'll help. Just as a disclaimer, not all of the data is available yet. We're still migrating data over and making sure that everything is working correctly before we just send it all out there. And because we want to ensure we have a great product, and this product is doing wonderfully so far. So yeah, but any data that you cannot visualize right now, you can still access on training.globe.gov. So yeah, if you have any additional questions, I can answer those.